All right, we're live. We're good to go. Cool. So I'd like to welcome everyone to the Fact Against the Clock Lab. Shout out to Native Instruments for having us. Can we get a big round of applause for Lyzza, please?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Repping Amsterdam. She's from Amsterdam, so shout out to her.
Yeah.
Cool. So does anyone know, or does someone know what the Against the Clock is? If no one knows, it's a good time to ask. Yeah, everyone knows? Cool. All right. So Liz is going to make a beat in 10 minutes. Do you have anything prepared? I know you were saying that in the cab you were kind of like practicing a little bit.
I mean, I just loaded in like some sounds I like, because I always spend like most of the time just like looking at like, ooh, what sounds fit together. Yeah, so I have some sounds that sound interesting. For the rest, I don't really have anything.
And is that usually how you kind of go about starting to make a track? Like
Yeah, I usually just like pick a BPM, which is usually between like 130 and like 140, or like between like 80 and 100.
Okay.
And
just kind of take it from there.
Yeah, and then from there, I just kind of just like go and roll with it.
All right. Well, do you want to start?
Yep.
All right. Let's do it. Can we get a round of applause, please? All right. So I'm going to start the timer, and you're going to hear the beep, and then you can start. Okay. All right. Take it away. Doing great.
Can Where's the? Oh. Can't you see? You're easy. A boy like you, for a freak like me. Can't you see? Can't you see? You're easy. A boy like you, for a freak like me.
About 1 minute left. Oh, that's time. Can you play it through one more time?
Can't you see? You're easy. A boy like you, for a freak like me.
Sick. Can we get a round of applause, please? That was sick. That was so good. That was sick, man. Seriously. All right. Yeah. Well done. That was like the best Against the Clock ever.
Oh, come on now. Thank you.
How was that for you? How did it feel? Like I know you were a little bit nervous at the start, but
I mean, if I was able to just do the arrangement in like the last minute, I would have been so happy. But this was cool. Like, I guess it's just the process of everything. So.
yeah, that was amazing. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about how you started producing in the first place, because I know you're quite young. You're 19,
Yeah.
which is really impressive because that was so good.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit about how you started making music in the first place.
I mean, I guess I've always kind of been making music, like just playing piano, and then I had like a phase when, I was like 15, like really into like XXYYXX and like Grimes and stuff, and I liked like R&B vocals, and then SZA came out, which is why Lyzza kind of became
I
like
didn't
a
know
thing. Yeah, and then after a while, I just got really into just like electronic music, and like I discovered like Disclosure came up and like the whole house thing, and then Sophie like changed my life.
Okay.
Like when Bip came out, I was like, yo! And then just like sounds and like, I don't know. And then producing kind of just like naturally like evolved from being on GarageBand and then like cracking Logic.
Okay.
Yeah, and then.
Okay, so like at the moment you're kind of more associated with like the more club, like those kind of industrial club sort of sounds. I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
Is that sort of more what you listen to now, or do you listen to everything?
I listen to everything, but mostly like I guess what you would call experimental electronics. So like friends like Comic Slow, but then also like Logic and not exactly sure how to pronounce her last name, but Dina Abulahed.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like DJ NJ Drone, but also like Perk and Truss and just housey sounds, but also like very like I don't know, like sounds can just be like so like cutting and just like really I don't know, nice sometimes.
So I know you noticed. I noticed that you were writing sort of lyrics down.
Yeah.
And is that like an important part of the process? Just like maybe writing notes and.
Yeah, I usually always just like write. I always have like vocals on my own tracks. But yeah, the writing now is very like hurried. But yeah, usually when you just like have like words, like you can just like easily rhyme like lyrics to it. And then also with electronic music, like I think the difference between like electronic music and actual like bedroom, like listen to your room, like emotional music is that like electronic music has very simple like lyrics.
Yeah.
So you could literally just like be like, okay, who am I angry? Like, why am I angry? Like, who do I want to like who do I want to make out with? Like, how do I feel right now? You could literally put that in like the most easy 4 words, and like it'll make sense, like on music. So, yeah.
Do you want to take us through sort of what you did?
Yeah.
Kind of step by step, and just show us how you did it.
So I usually start by like creating like a beat.
Yeah.
Which is kick 1.
Yeah.
I usually have like 2 different beats in a track, which is usually like one that's a little bit more rhythmic, and then somewhere through the middle, I'll usually have like a kick that's on every count, which like makes it really like pumping. So I use this application called Splice, which if you're a producer and like you're not aware of it, like it's fucking amazing. It's basically you pay $7.99 a month, and you get like this whole library of just like sounds and samples, and you can it's like online, but it's also an application, and you just
type in whatever you want.
Type in whatever you want, and like a lot of like producers have samples on there, like Sophie, like but also collectives like Nafi, and you can load it into your
I noticed you have the Nafi sounds there.
Huh?
I noticed you had like the Nafi sounds.
Yeah, they have like really good like kicks. So then I just kind of like drag in and cut up the kicks, because I don't trust my hand enough to like do an actual like really like good beat. So I just like drag it in. So then I made this. And with just like house and techno, like if you just have like a continuous beat, like every like 4 counts, like it'll make sense. So then I just like copy paste. And then I usually create like a pad where I kind of like settle like the notes and like the keys that I'm gonna use, like the chromatic.
A little bed of sounds. Like
like the sounds that I'm gonna use. So then in this case, I had like this pad, which then kind of like defines.
It's a bit of atmosphere.
Yeah, I love like synth leads and like saw anthems and like that type of thing, and just like 90s like bonsai records like sounds. And then I'm not really sure what happened to my melody here.
Okay, I think that was towards the end.
Yeah, and then I make a melody that fits into the pad. And then I try to add some like percussion, which in this case was this. And like with everything, I just like quantize everything like onto the beat. I know a lot of people like to like 75% quantize everything, but I'm just like, no, like straight like everything. But then when you use like the 100% quantize with like rhythms that aren't actually on every 4 count, like it kind of creates like a different like rhythm, even though you're like on the beat. And then I like to use a lot of like effects and sounds in my music, like just weird sounds. And I found this effect also by Nafi, which sounded cool.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
And then, I mean, my voice I just like recorded, which is gonna be kind of awkward.
You don't have to play it, you know.
You're easy, a boy like you, for a freak like me. And then when I make everything like on one, like kind of like under each other, and then like the last steps of making my music is actually like arranging everything. So I just like, okay, so I'm gonna start with the pad, and then here the kick comes in, and then the perk comes in, and so I guess what people would do with like Ableton Live, I guess I'm making it like really hard for myself. But yeah, and then like just I arrange it like linearly, and then that's usually how I make a track. And then at the last moment, you can kind of like figure out like, oh, what do I miss? And you can add like little sounds and like little things.
Does anyone have any questions for Lyzza? Anyone? No? Okay. All right, well, that's it. Round of applause for Lyzza, please.
Thank you.
Sick. That was amazing. Oh, yeah, we've got another session at 6, by the way, so make sure to come back.